chosen ones, they're all wondering who you are and what you did. They are crazy for you. Who you are speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Welcome to Spiritual Wisdom, where today we unravel the captivating power of mystery and presence. Imagine being the center of speculation, with people obsessing over your every move, not because of anything you've said, but because your essence speaks volumes. Why does your silence make them so curious? How does your energy leave them questioning everything? Drop a comment below and share. Have you ever noticed people trying to figure you out? Let's dive into why the chosen ones always leave an unforgettable mark. Now, let's begin. 1. Your energy is magnetic and unpredictable. Your energy is a force of nature, dynamic, enigmatic, and impossible to ignore. It transcends physical appearances or superficial charm, diving straight into the realm of the spiritual. People feel your presence long before they even see you. It's a pull, a magnetic shift in the atmosphere that speaks to their very core, making them wonder who you are and what it is about you that leaves them so spellbound. This isn't just about charisma. It's about the kind of energy that arises from a deep spiritual awakening, a heightened sense of self that radiates authenticity, purpose, and mystery. You're not like others who fit neatly into predictable patterns. Predictability, after all, offers comfort, but it rarely inspires. In contrast, you keep people on the edge of their seats, leaving them captivated and eager for more. One moment, you're calm and contemplative, your energy soothing like a quiet dawn. Next, you're a whirlwind, making bold moves and shifting the course of conversations, plans, or even lives. But it's never chaos. It's a controlled unpredictability, a mastery over your own rhythm that exudes confidence and strength. This duality keeps people fascinated because you represent both serenity and momentum, stillness and movement, in perfect harmony. What makes this energy even more remarkable is that it's effortless. You're not trying to be a mystery, you simply are. It's in the subtle power of your gaze, the unspoken wisdom in your silence, and the conviction in your words. When people encounter you, they sense that there's a world of untold stories and untapped potential lurking behind your eyes. They're drawn to the anticipation of what you might do next, the curiosity of what grand vision you're quietly crafting. Your unpredictability isn't a performance. It's the genuine reflection of a soul that has embraced its spiritual awakening, and that's why it resonates so deeply with others. Even more captivating is that you don't crave attention or seek validation. You're the kind of person who effortlessly becomes the focal point, not because you demand it, but because your energy naturally commands it. People can't help but be intrigued, their minds racing with questions they may never ask aloud. What drives you? What's your purpose? Where does this magnetic presence come from? They find themselves addicted to the enigma you represent, captivated by the story you seem to embody without even speaking it aloud. In the hustle of modern life, where most people follow routines and fit themselves into defined molds, you stand apart. You're proof that embracing your uniqueness and living authentically is the ultimate spiritual act. This energy of yours doesn't just attract admiration, it inspires others to awaken their own potential, to break free from predictability, and to lean into the unpredictable beauty of life. Your presence becomes a reminder that life isn't meant to be lived on autopilot. Instead, it's a journey of discovery, growth, and daring to step into the unknown. As you move through the world, remember that this magnetic energy is both a gift and a responsibility. Use it wisely to uplift, inspire, and empower. Let your spiritual awakening guide your steps and watch as you continue to be the story people can't stop talking about, the force they can't take their eyes off of, and the spark that ignites transformation wherever you go. Comment below, "I accept this wonderful gift," and let's continue this journey together. 2. You don't demand respect. You command it. Respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you exude effortlessly. It's not just in the words you speak or the actions you take. It's in your essence, your very presence. When you walk into a room, something shifts. Conversations falter for just a moment. The air feels different, and eyes naturally gravitate toward you. Not because you've shouted for attention or tried to make a spectacle, but because your quiet confidence speaks louder than any words ever could. There's an undeniable energy about you, one that commands respect without asking for it. This isn't arrogance, nor is it an act of trying to prove anything. It's an innate understanding of your worth, a grounded, unshakable self-assurance. People sense that you don't need their validation to feel whole, and that realization stirs something in them. They may not fully grasp why they feel drawn to you, but they can't ignore it. While others might demand respect with loud gestures or controlling behavior, you shift the dynamic effortlessly, just by being yourself. And that unsettles them. They're used to people chasing approval, bending and conforming to fit expectations. But you stand firm. You don't explain yourself, you don't bend, and you certainly don't chase after acknowledgement. Consider this in modern life. Think about the leader in your office who doesn't micromanage, but still inspires everyone to perform at their best. They don't boast about their accomplishments or bark orders. Instead, their quiet confidence and consistent actions make others naturally follow their lead. Their respect isn't something forced, it's earned, and it lasts. People align with them not out of obligation, but out of admiration. Why? Because true influence comes from being grounded in who you are, not from controlling others. The respect you command is authentic and deeply rooted in your sense of self. It's not the fleeting kind of respect that comes from authority or fear. It's the kind that builds loyalty and admiration. When you lead, it's with influence, not dominance. When you inspire, it's with your actions, not just your words. And that leaves people both in awe and slightly mystified. They wonder, how do they do it? How do they command so much attention without even trying? But the truth is simple. Your respect is anchored in spirituality and spiritual growth. It comes from the inner work you've done to understand yourself, to stand tall in your purpose, and to trust your journey. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 3. The power of intrigue. The beauty of your presence is in the power of the unknown. Your identity is a puzzle they can't solve, a masterpiece of spiritual wisdom that defies definition. You walk into a room, and without saying a word, the energy shifts. People can't help but notice. They feel it. What is it about you that captivates their attention so effortlessly? It's not the words you speak or the things you openly do. It's the unspoken moments, the subtle actions that leave no fingerprints but undeniable impact. You are the enigma they can't figure out, and it drives them mad in the best possible way. As Albert Einstein once said, the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. You embody that mystery, a living testament to the allure of what can't be fully understood. Think about it. Why are people so obsessed with categorizing others, putting them neatly into boxes? It makes them feel safe, gives them a sense of control. But you break those boxes. You refuse to be pinned down, and that frustrates them. The more they try to define you, the more they realize how limitless you are. Have you noticed how their curiosity grows with every unanswered question? You don't owe anyone explanations, and that's part of your power. As Bruce Lee wisely said, showing off is the fool's idea of glory. You don't need to showcase your worth, It's evident in how others react to your presence. Every silence you maintain, every step you take, creates ripples that leave others scrambling to make sense of the impact. And here's the fascinating part. Their obsession with you reveals more about them than it does about you. They analyze your every move, overthink your silences, and fill the gaps in their understanding with their own projections. You become a mirror, reflecting back their insecurities, assumptions, and desires. What does their fascination say about them? What does your ability to hold their attention without effort say about the kind of energy you carry? As Rumi wrote, "Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth." You're living proof of this wisdom, inspiring others to look inward, even as they're drawn outward toward your mystery. The truth is, they're not just drawn to you because of what you've done or who you are. They're drawn to the space you occupy, the energy that resonates beyond words. You are the story they can't stop telling themselves, the unsolvable puzzle that keeps them intrigued. It's not about arrogance, it's about owning your authenticity. You're not trying to be mysterious. The enigma is simply who you are. Every glance, every whispered word, every attempt to decode your essence only deepens their obsession. Can you imagine the power in that? The less they know, the more their imaginations fill the void, and the more captivated they become. So, embrace this spiritual wisdom. Your mystery is your strength. You don't need to try to be extraordinary because you already are. Let them wonder, let them speculate, let them be drawn in by the essence of who you are. As they try to unravel your enigma, they'll only find themselves further entangled, and in doing so, they'll begin to discover parts of themselves they never understood. And you? You'll continue to shine effortlessly, a beacon of the unknown, proving time and again that the most powerful story is the one left untold. What will they see in you next? And what does it reflect about them? The answers lie not in what you reveal, but in what you leave to the imagination. And if you feel inspired by this message, type, "I trust the process," as a way to affirm your strength, patience, and commitment to growth. Let's grow together. 4. Your wins are built on moves they'll never see coming. Your success is more than just a series of victories. It's a testament to a profound spiritual insight that few possess. While the world around you plays by rules etched into the same old handbook, you've transcended it entirely. You didn't just rewrite the rules, you created an entirely new dimension, one they can't even perceive. They're busy chasing trends, mimicking strategies, and trying to decipher your last move, but the truth is, they're always looking at an outdated version of you. By the time they grasp what they think is your game plan, you've already shifted gears, operating in a space they didn't even know existed. This ability to be ahead, not just of them, but of the very framework they operate within, isn't luck, it's spiritual clarity and foresight. You see the world differently, through a lens polished by spiritual awakening. Where others see walls, you see doors. Where they see failure, you see a lesson leading to your next breakthrough. Your moves are often labeled risky or unconventional, but that's because they don't yet understand the wisdom behind them. It's not about following, it's about creating. You're not playing to win by their standards, you're redefining what victory even looks like. This frustrates them deeply because they're bound by a rigid system of thinking, trying to apply logic to a strategy that's rooted in intuition, creativity, and the divine guidance that comes with being spiritually aligned. In a modern world obsessed with predictability, your unpredictability is your greatest power. They try to categorize you, fit you into their constructs, and explain you by the metrics they know. But you've risen above that. Your journey isn't just about thinking outside the box, it's about moving beyond the concept of the box entirely. You don't just adapt to change, you create it. Each move you make is like a ripple in the water, disrupting their expectations and setting you further apart. This isn't about being elusive for the sake of it. It's about being true to your unique path, one defined by spiritual growth and purpose. Your success is built on a foundation of strategy and insight, but more importantly, it's fortified by your ability to connect with a higher purpose. You've tapped into a spiritual energy that allows you to see possibilities others overlook. This connection helps you pivot effortlessly, making the impossible seem inevitable. While others remain fixated on the mechanics of your achievements, they miss the essence, the inner work, the spiritual strength, and the awakened mindset that fuel your every step forward. In life, it is easy to follow trends and conform to expectations, but your story is a reminder that true greatness lies in the courage to forge your own path. Embrace the unpredictability, lean into your spiritual awakening, and continue to act in ways that leave others guessing. The world does not need another copy of what already exists. It needs innovators like you who operate from a space of purpose, creativity, and unwavering faith in their journey. Keep moving forward, stay grounded, and remember that their confusion is proof of your strength. Make them wonder, because that is where your strength lies. Comment below. I choose to move forward, to express your determination on this journey, and let's continue together. 5. You redefine the concept of limits. When you redefine the concept of limits, you're not merely pushing boundaries, you're obliterating them and rewriting the rules. What you've achieved isn't some happy accident or stroke of good luck. It's the result of bold determination and a mindset that refuses to accept constraints as real. While most people measure their progress within pre-existing frameworks, you've been out there building your own path, showing that the world's boundaries are only as solid as the belief we place in them. Your journey is not a surprise. It's the natural result of someone who has decided that limits don't exist, and every move you make reinforces this truth. Think about those moments when people said, "This is as far as anyone can go." Your response? "Watch me." You don't just break barriers, you annihilate them and use the fragments to construct entirely new possibilities. Your achievements aren't just personal milestones. They're provocations that force others to question what they thought was unchangeable. Every step you take makes the impossible seem not just doable, but ordinary, leaving people awestruck, wondering how you managed to leap over hurdles that seemed insurmountable. They search for your secret, a formula they can replicate, but they miss the point entirely. There's no secret. Your success stems from a mindset anchored in spirituality, one that sees limitations as illusions crafted by fear and self-doubt. You understand that growth, true spiritual growth, demands leaving the comfort zone far behind. Imagine a modern-day example. Think of a young entrepreneur who grew up in a small town where everyone believed success meant a steady job at the local factory. Instead of following the prescribed path, they dared to dream of building an innovative tech company. They faced ridicule, disbelief, and countless naysayers, but their persistence, rooted in a deep sense of purpose, shattered those limits. Today, their story isn't just one of personal triumph. It inspires an entire generation to rethink what's possible. Their journey mirrors your own because, like you, they didn't settle for the world's rules, they created their own. When you break through limits, something remarkable happens. You hold up a mirror to the world and force others to confront the boundaries they've accepted without question. Your achievements don't just make people admire you, they make them uncomfortable because they reveal the confines of their own thinking. Have you ever wondered why some people react with skepticism or envy when you succeed? It's because your spiritual growth challenges their comfort zones, shaking the foundations of what they believe to be true. But here's the profound truth. Your journey isn't about leaving others behind. It's about lighting a path for them to follow if they choose. Your success shows that the only true limits are the ones we place on ourselves, and by shattering those, you invite others to rise higher. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Don't fear the discomfort of breaking barriers. Embrace it, because every step you take toward the impossible inspires someone else to step out of their shadows and into the light of their potential. Spirituality teaches us that growth isn't just about reaching higher, it's about transforming the way we see the world and helping others do the same. So, as you continue to redefine limits, remember, your courage isn't just changing your life, it's reshaping the lives of everyone who watches you soar. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights and let's continue this conversation. 6. Success leaves evidence, not explanations. They're all wondering about you, who you are, what you've done, and how you did it. It's as if you've cast a spell, leaving them entranced and searching for answers they'll never truly find. Why? Because your success leaves evidence, not explanations. You don't need to defend or define yourself. Your actions do all the talking. The proof of your impact is written across the reactions you spark, the decisions you influence, and the whispers that follow you wherever you go. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." Your presence and achievements echo so powerfully that even your silence becomes a source of fascination. Have you ever noticed how people's curiosity intensifies when they can't figure you out? In a world obsessed with explanations, your refusal to offer them sets you apart. You don't feed their need for validation or closure. Instead, you leave behind a trail of undeniable results that speaks louder than any words ever could. This leaves them scrambling to connect the dots, overanalyzing every move you make. They can't help but wonder, how did you manage this? It's not just about what you've done, but how you've done it. How did you achieve results others only dream of? How did you succeed without following the rules everyone else swears by? Your spiritual wisdom, your ability to tap into something greater than logic guides you. You've mastered the art of subtlety, making your brilliance seem almost effortless. But the truth is, your success isn't magic. It's the culmination of risks taken, sacrifices made, and unwavering faith in your vision. They don't see the late nights, the moments of doubt, or the sheer persistence it took to get here. And that's where the real intrigue lies, in what remains unseen. People become obsessed, not just with your results, but with the mystery surrounding them. It's human nature to crave understanding, to peel back the layers of something or someone that seems untouchable. Yet, by withholding explanations, you create a space for others to project their awe, envy, and admiration. They're left wondering, what's your secret? What kind of spiritual wisdom have you tapped into that others can't grasp? This is the power of being unapologetically you. In a world where everyone rushes to explain themselves, your silence is revolutionary. It challenges the norm and forces others to look deeper, not just at you, but at themselves. Why do they feel the need to know everything about you? Why does your success unsettle them? Is it because you've become a mirror, reflecting their own insecurities and limitations? By simply being yourself and walking your path, you compel others to confront their own choices. And maybe that's the real secret. Your life, grounded in spiritual wisdom and guided by faith, is a testament to what's possible when you trust the process and let your actions speak louder than words. Share your story, or simply type, "I am growing," if you're committed to using every moment to improve yourself. Let's keep this conversation going. I can't wait to hear your insights. 7. They're obsessed because you don't care. Your indifference, far from being a sign of apathy, is a spiritual shield that leaves them bewildered. They can't fathom how someone like you could walk through life without needing their applause or approval. Their obsession with you isn't born out of hatred or disdain. It's their struggle to comprehend your self-assurance. In modern life, where so much worth is tied to likes, comments, and fleeting validations, your calm detachment stands as a testament to your inner strength. You're not playing their games because you've transcended them. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. You know who you are, and that self-awareness is unshakable. It's this spiritual grounding that has them losing their minds, wondering how you remain untouched by their opinions. They are used to being chased, their egos fed by the constant pursuit of others vying for their attention. But when it comes to you, the script is flipped. You don't need their recognition, and that's precisely what makes yours so valuable. It's a paradox that gnaws at them. They crave your acknowledgement but can't earn it, and so they become like moths to a flame, drawn in by your unyielding energy, only to find they can't control or influence you. Your spiritual awakening has made you untouchable in a way they can't emulate. You don't react to their attempts to provoke you, and this quiet power becomes their obsession. They want to crack your composure, to disrupt the tranquility you exude, but their efforts only reinforce your spiritual strength. In the chaos of their frustration, they don't realize that your detachment isn't just a passive stance, it's a declaration of independence. You've chosen to define your worth on your terms, and that makes you a mystery they can't unravel. Modern life often traps people in cycles of comparison and validation, but you've broken free. This freedom, this refusal to play by their rules, highlights their own insecurities. It's not that they hate you, it's that they don't know how to exist in a world where you don't need them to feel whole. Ultimately, your strength lies in knowing that your spiritual journey is yours alone. It's a quiet confidence that doesn't demand attention, but inevitably draws it. You don't rely on anyone to define your value, and that self-reliance is magnetic. While they're desperate for your reaction, you're too busy living your life, focused on your purpose. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, rising above the noise and staying true to yourself. They're crazy for you because they see in you what they can't find in themselves. The ability to move through life unshaken, grounded in purpose, and free from the need for validation. So, keep going. In a world obsessed with chasing approval, your calm detachment is your superpower. Let them wonder. Let them chase. You're already too far ahead, living in alignment with your truth. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. 8. You're the protagonist of their inner dialogue. You don't just push limits, you redefine them, shatter them, and reconstruct reality itself. Your achievements aren't born from luck or favorable circumstances. They stem from an unyielding mindset that refuses to accept the word impossible. While others measure their progress within the confines of what society has deemed acceptable or realistic, you've been out there drawing entirely new maps, creating paths where none existed before. Your success isn't a coincidence. It's the natural outcome of someone who sees limitations not as barriers, but as challenges to be dismantled and reimagined. When the world tells you, this is as far as you can go, your response isn't defensive, it's transformative. You say, watch me, and then you deliver, exceeding expectations and reshaping the boundaries of what's achievable. Every time you accomplish something extraordinary, you force those around you to reconsider their definitions of effort, potential, and reality itself. It's not just that you succeed, it's that your success redefines the very notion of success. What was once considered impossible is now something you make look effortless, a regular occurrence in your journey. People are left mystified, analyzing your methods, hoping to uncover a hidden trick or formula they can replicate. But there's no shortcut to what you've achieved. The truth is simple but profound. It's your belief in possibility, coupled with relentless action, that sets you apart. It's a commitment to spiritual growth, the constant evolution of your mind, and an unshakable faith in your ability to transcend the limits imposed by society. Your journey mirrors the stories of visionaries who've changed the course of history. Think of individuals like Steve Jobs, who didn't just build better products but revolutionized how we interact with technology. Or Serena Williams, whose perseverance and unmatched talent broke through barriers of race and gender in sports. These people didn't wait for permission or validation. They carved their own paths, often at the expense of being misunderstood or underestimated. And like them, your spiritual journey is as much about internal transformation as it is about external triumphs. By refusing to conform to the limits others live by, you make them question everything they thought they knew about themselves. Are their limits real, or are they just constructs of fear and societal expectations? This realization creates a ripple effect. Your refusal to stay confined inspires others to step out of their comfort zones, even if only to see if they can match your energy. It challenges their perception of reality and invites them to participate in their own spiritual awakening. Have you ever considered how many lives you've influenced simply by being unapologetically yourself? By pushing boundaries and embracing your higher purpose, you demonstrate that growth is not only possible, but necessary for a fulfilled life. What if the limits we believe in are merely reflections of the stories we've been told? How much of your own potential would you leave unexplored if you hadn't dared to dream bigger and act bolder? Here is the lesson. Your spiritual journey is not just about breaking free from external limitations. It is about unlocking the limitless potential within. Every time you challenge what is considered impossible, you're not only proving something to the world, but you are also reminding yourself and everyone else that growth, be it spiritual or personal, is limitless. Embrace this power, for it is not only your gift, but also your responsibility. Through courage and perseverance, you not only reshape your reality, you empower others to do the same. The question now is, how far will you let your belief in your abilities take you? Because the truth is, the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. Affirm it boldly. I keep the faith. Let this be your daily reminder that you are walking in divine purpose, transformed from the inside out. 9. They hate that they need you. Have you ever noticed how some people seem consumed by your presence, unable to look away yet filled with silent frustration? That's because they need you desperately, even if they'd never admit it. The truth is, you are the key to something they've been seeking, the missing link in their journey toward their next level. And that need? It gnaws at them, eats away at their pride, because for so long they've tried to convince themselves and the world that they've got it all figured out. But deep down, they know that everything they aspire to achieve hinges on something you bring to the table. As uncomfortable as it might make them, you've become the spark, the challenge, and the driving force that keeps them pushing forward. Isn't it interesting how people often disguise necessity as indifference? They might criticize you, belittle your efforts, or pretend not to care, but their actions speak otherwise. Every move you make is like a mirror they can't look away from, reflecting both what they lack and what they wish they could attain. Whether they're aware of it or not, you've become their benchmark, the silent standard against which they measure their progress. As frustrating as it is for them, they know their growth is tied to your existence. And while they may resent this reality, they can't deny it. Think about it. Why else would they keep coming back to you, even in subtle, unspoken ways? Your energy, your achievements, your resilience all fuels their ambition. Without you, they'd stagnate, stuck in the same cycles, repeating the same patterns. You, with your spiritual wisdom and unique presence, have shown them what's possible, and that vision alone is enough to keep them striving. Isn't it ironic that the same person they secretly envy, perhaps even dislike, is also the one they depend on for inspiration? As Marcus Aurelius once said, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. You embody this principle, showing through action rather than words the kind of strength, determination, and purpose they can only aspire to. And whether they love or hate it, you keep them hungry. Your light forces them to confront their own darkness. Your success challenges their complacency. They can't escape the truth. Your journey, your triumphs, and even your struggles are the reminders they need to rise above their own limitations. Now let me ask you, have you ever wondered why their obsession with you runs so deep? Could it be that their frustration isn't just about envy, but also about the fear of what they could become without your influence? What does it mean to you that your life has such a profound effect on others, even those who refuse to acknowledge it? The irony is clear. They hate that they need you, but they also can't let you go. You're the unspoken mentor, the unintentional guide, and the undeniable source of spiritual wisdom that they can't seem to replicate. So, the next time you sense their quiet resentment, remember this. It's not about their feelings toward you. It's about what you represent. You're the possibility of greatness they crave and the reminder of what they've yet to achieve. And in that, my friend, lies the power you hold. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 10. You've made them your biggest fans. You've turned skeptics into secret admirers, doubters into your most devoted fans, and critics into the loudest voices keeping tabs on your every move. And here's the kicker. You didn't have to do a thing. While you're out there, living your life, walking your spiritual path, and embracing your awakening, they're watching, speculating, and trying to piece together a story they can never quite figure out. Their fascination isn't merely curiosity. It's a hunger to understand the unexplainable energy you exude, the quiet confidence that leaves them puzzled, and the gaps in your narrative that make you a mystery they can't unravel. You've unknowingly taken up residence in their minds, not just as a fleeting thought, but as an obsession, a loop they can't escape. They're the first to notice when something in your life shifts, the quickest to dissect your choices, and the loudest to comment, even if it's masked as criticism. Their whispers, their gossip, their speculation, they're all fueled by a deep-seated admiration they'd never admit. What they don't realize is that the very energy they expend on you amplifies your influence. Every discussion about your life, every attempt to decode your moves, every word spoken about you, whether in admiration or envy, spreads your presence far beyond what you could have achieved alone. Their obsession becomes your platform, magnifying your reach and cementing your place in their world. And here's where your spiritual awakening shines. You're not doing this for them. You're not seeking their approval, competing for their attention, or trying to impress anyone. Your focus is inward, guided by purpose, growth, and authenticity. This effortless magnetism stems from the spiritual alignment that others strive for but can't replicate. They operate in a world of hustle, chasing validation and clamoring for recognition, while you move through life with a calm assurance that draws others in like moths to a flame. Your light disrupts their shadows, your presence challenges their insecurities, and your story, unfinished and unapologetically yours, becomes the enigma they can't resist. But here's the most powerful part of this spiritual journey. By simply being true to yourself, you've become the protagonist of their stories. You're the twist in their narrative, the unshakable presence they never saw coming. And while they scramble to understand you, they're unknowingly spreading your influence, reinforcing the legend of the chosen one. Whether they love you or hate you, they can't escape your impact. This is the beauty of living authentically. Your energy transforms those around you, even when they don't understand how or why. So, keep walking your path. Let them wonder, speculate, and marvel at the mystery you embody. Your spiritual awakening isn't about them, but the ripples it creates in their lives is a testament to the undeniable power of living as your true awakened self. You're not just a chapter in their story. You've become the entire plot twist they'll never forget. And the best part? You never asked for their attention. They offered it willingly. Now they can't take it back. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. 11. They hate you because they're not you. Sometimes, the strongest reactions people have toward you aren't about what you've achieved or what you own. They're about who you are at your core. It's not the material things or accolades that set them off. It's the way you navigate the world with a quiet confidence that feels almost otherworldly. They see you walking into a room and commanding attention without uttering a word, and it stirs something inside them. It's not envy in the way most people understand it. It's deeper, more personal. You have an energy and a spiritual strength that can't be replicated, no matter how much they try. It's like you're tuned into a frequency they can't even detect, and that infuriates them because it highlights something they lack. Your presence alone challenges their sense of identity. Think about this. In modern life, we often encounter people who try to diminish others to elevate themselves. It could be that coworker who always finds a way to undermine your ideas, or the friend who seems supportive but subtly competes with you at every turn. They're not frustrated because you're doing well. They're frustrated because your spiritual growth and authenticity reveal their own insecurities. Your ability to see life through a unique lens, sharpened by wisdom, self-awareness, and perhaps even a divine connection, is something they don't understand and can't replicate. And that's not your fault. You've cultivated a relationship with yourself and your spirituality that has given you a foundation no one can shake. They're not just mad that you succeed. They're mad that your success comes from a place they can't reach. One powerful story that comes to mind is about a young entrepreneur who started a small business rooted in their passion for sustainability. This person didn't chase trends or try to outdo competitors. They simply focused on their purpose. Over time, their business thrived, not because they had the best marketing strategy, but because their authenticity drew people in. Yet, they faced criticism, often from people who had more resources or experience, but lacked the same sense of purpose. These critics couldn't understand how someone with seemingly fewer advantages could achieve so much. What they missed is the success rooted in spirituality and alignment with one's values creates a magnetism that's impossible to imitate. So ask yourself, when others project negativity onto you, is it really about you, or is it about their perception of themselves? What is it about your energy, your actions, and your presence that might be making them question their own path? The truth is, the way you carry yourself is not something they can take from you. It's a reflection of the spiritual work you've done and the growth you continue to pursue. And when you understand this, their opinions lose their power. Here's the lesson. Don't let their frustrations become your burden. Their reactions are about their limitations, not your worth. Keep walking your path with grace and authenticity. Let their discomfort be a reminder that your spiritual growth and inner light are shining brightly. And if anything, allow their reactions to deepen your compassion, because those who lash out often do so from a place of pain. Continue being unapologetically you, and remember, the world needs the unique energy only you can bring. And if you feel inspired by this message, type "I trust the process" as a way to affirm your strength, patience, and commitment to growth. Let's grow together. "12. Your legacy is built on action, not words. Let me tell you something. Chosen ones, you are a mystery wrapped in purpose, and they can't stop wondering who you are or how you've done what you've done. They're captivated, maybe even a little obsessed, because you embody something so rare. A legacy built on action, not just words. While others spend their time talking, analyzing, and speculating about life, you're out there living it, creating it, shaping it. You don't just dream, you do. Your actions are louder than any words they could ever speak, and that's what truly sets you apart. As Mahatma Gandhi said, action expresses priorities. Your focus is unshakable, and your energy is unmatched, leaving those around you struggling to figure out how you move the way you do. Think about it. How many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to act, for someone to validate their choices, or for a sign to give them permission to proceed? Not you. While they're caught in their endless cycle of overthinking, you've already taken the leap. You understand that a legacy isn't something crafted through words or curated social media posts. It's built in the real world, through tangible action, grit, and determination. What are you doing today to build the legacy you want to leave behind? That's the question you've already answered, and it's the question they're still grappling with. While they analyze your last move, trying to make sense of it all, you're already 2 steps ahead, creating, building, and silently pushing forward. Here's the thing about spiritual wisdom. It teaches us that energy flows where focus goes. You're not distracted by the noise of opinions or the fleeting trends of the world. Instead, you pour your energy into meaningful action, into manifesting your divine purpose, and into leaving a mark that will outlast any fleeting criticism or gossip. Remember, what you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say, as Ralph Waldo Emerson once said. This is the essence of your path. Your life isn't a performance to gain approval. It's a testament to what happens when you align your intentions with powerful, consistent action. So, let them wonder. Let them speculate. Let them try to figure out how you've managed to do what they've only dreamed of. You're too busy writing the next chapter of your life to pay attention to the chatter. The difference between you and them is simple. They talk and you act. They hesitate and you move. They plan and you execute. How does that feel to know you're the one leaving a trail of results that can't be ignored? To know that your legacy isn't something up for debate, but a reality you've carved out with your own hands? Chosen ones, your spiritual wisdom guides you to keep moving forward. Your legacy isn't just about what you leave behind. It's about the lives you touch, the inspiration you spark, and the power you demonstrate in showing others what's possible. How will you continue to honor this calling? What steps will you take today to keep turning your vision into reality? Remember, the world doesn't change with idle words. It transforms when people like you choose to act. So go ahead, keep them wondering, keep them inspired, and most of all, keep building your legacy through the unmatched power of your actions. As we wrap up, remember this. Your magnetism, your undeniable presence, isn't something that can be replicated or understood by those around you. It's your essence, your ability to exist beyond the expectations and labels of others that leaves them in awe. The power you hold to inspire, challenge, and even perplex is a gift, one that keeps you ahead of the game, reshaping the world on your own terms. Now, it's your turn to harness that power fully. How will you use it to transform your daily life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and join this incredible journey of discovery. Together, let's continue to unlock the mysteries of our potential and redefine what's possible. 3 secret signs the Holy Spirit has entered your body and is transforming you inside and out. The Spirit is the wind that blows where it wills. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. This powerful truth reminds us that transformation through the Holy Spirit is both mysterious and undeniable. Welcome to Spiritual Wisdom, beloved souls. Today, we embark on a profound journey to uncover the 3 secret signs that the Holy Spirit has entered your life and is working wonders within you. Have you noticed changes in yourself that you can't quite explain? Perhaps your thoughts, actions, or even your reflection feel unfamiliar. Share your experiences in the comments. What transformations have you witnessed in your own journey? Let's come together, learn and grow as we explore how God is reshaping us for a greater purpose. 1. Your physical appearance reflects divine transformation. One of the clearest signs that the Holy Spirit has entered your life and is transforming you from the inside out is the remarkable change in your physical appearance. It's not just about looking better or younger. This is a divine transformation that radiates from within. Before this spiritual awakening, your face might have carried the burdens of life, the stress, the pain, and the relentless struggles that seem to define your days. You may have appeared older than your years, worn down by battles fought without the strength of God. But now, there's something different about you. Your skin glows with vitality, your posture exudes confidence, and your eyes, those windows to the soul, shine with a depth and fire that can only come from the Holy Spirit. People will begin to notice. They might comment on your newfound brightness or ask if you've started a new self-care routine. Some might attribute it to more sleep, a better diet, or some other earthly explanation. But you know the truth. It's the Spirit of God moving through you, filling every fiber of your being with divine purpose. This transformation is not superficial, it's spiritual. It's a change that begins with your heart and flows outward, touching every aspect of your physical being. We see a powerful example of this in Exodus 34:29, where Moses descended from Mount Sinai after communing with God, and his face shone so brightly that he had to cover it with a veil. While you may not experience a literal glow like Moses, there's no denying the light of spiritual awakening that now radiates from you. This light is impossible to hide and equally impossible to fake. It's a reflection of God's work in your life, an undeniable testimony that you are no longer the person you once were. However, not everyone will celebrate this transformation. The spiritual light within you will inevitably attract both admiration and resistance. Those who operate in darkness, narcissists, manipulators, and those threatened by your newfound peace may mock or belittle you. They'll accuse you of thinking you're better than them or try to bring you back to the version of yourself they were comfortable with. But let me assure you of this. What God has begun in you, no one can stop. This divine glow isn't for others to dim. It's a testimony of your spiritual awakening and God's purpose working through you. In modern life, where so many are consumed by external appearances and fleeting validation, this kind of inner transformation stands out. It's a reminder that true beauty and presence come not from expensive skincare routines or material achievements, but from aligning with the Spirit of God. So, let your light shine unapologetically. Walk with your head held high, knowing that your physical transformation is not vanity, but a visible reflection of a deeper spiritual truth. Affirm it boldly by comment in the below. I am glowing because of God's Spirit within me. Let this be a daily reminder that you are walking in divine purpose, transformed from the inside out. 2. Your behavior and priorities shift drastically. When the Holy Spirit enters your life, one unmistakable sign is a profound shift in your behavior and priorities. The things that once captivated you, the parties, the gossip, the fleeting pleasures, no longer hold the same allure. You may have been the life of the party, bending over backward to fit in, or perhaps anger, addiction, or other struggles held you captive. But now, there's a voice within you, gentle yet firm, whispering, "That's not who you are anymore." This transformation isn't just about behavior modification. It's about an inner renewal, a reshaping of your desires and values. The Holy Spirit doesn't merely convict you of what no longer serves you. He empowers you to rise above it. Suddenly, areas where you once felt powerless become opportunities for growth. That quick temper that used to flare up, it's subdued. That cycle of toxic relationships you couldn't break, it's behind you. This isn't magic. It's the Spirit working within you, giving you strength, clarity, and most importantly, self-control. Think about the fruits of the Spirit mentioned in Galatians: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Notice how self-control caps off the list, not as an afterthought, but as a quiet yet essential marker of spiritual growth. Self-control isn't flashy, but it's transformative. It's the ability to pause, reflect, and ask, what would God have me do? It's what allows you to navigate life with calmness and clarity, even when the world around you is chaotic. Imagine someone trying to provoke you, someone who knows the old you and expects the same reactions: anger, defensiveness, or impulsive behavior. Instead, they're met with your unshakable peace. It frustrates them because they can no longer manipulate you. You've changed, and your transformation makes them uncomfortable. But here's the beauty. Your peace isn't theirs to take. Take the story of a young professional named David. He was known for his short temper, a tendency that strained both his personal and professional relationships. Before his spiritual awakening, he would lash out at colleagues during stressful meetings or snap at loved ones over small disagreements. But when the Holy Spirit began to work in his life, David noticed a change. One day, during a particularly heated work presentation, his usual frustration began to rise. But instead of reacting, he paused. He remembered the Spirit's call to gentleness and self-control. His colleagues noticed the shift. They even began turning to him for guidance in tense situations. David's transformation became a testimony of how spiritual growth can ripple outward, impacting not just oneself, but everyone around them. So ask yourself, what behaviors or priorities in your life feel like they no longer fit? Is there an old habit or mindset you've outgrown, something the Spirit is nudging you to release? Share your thoughts in the comments or reflect privately, but take that step towards self-awareness. Growth isn't always easy. It often means walking away from comfort and toward a higher calling. The lesson here is clear. When the Holy Spirit transforms you, it's not just about letting go of old patterns. It's about embracing a life filled with love, joy, and peace. Each step you take in alignment with the Spirit's guidance is a step closer to the person God created you to be. So, hold on to that truth and affirm today. Comment in the below. I am walking in the fruits of the Spirit. 3. Your circle of friends and life path change. When the Holy Spirit enters your life, one of the most profound transformations you'll notice is in your circle of friends and the very path your life takes. Let's be clear, not everyone is meant to join you on this sacred journey. The changes you experience might feel isolating at first, but they're a divine realignment orchestrated by God Himself. Some friends, family members, and even romantic partners may drift away not because they are inherently bad, but because they're not aligned with the incredible work the Spirit is doing within you. Before this transformation, you may have surrounded yourself with people who fueled your insecurities or encouraged habits that led you away from your higher purpose. Now, you find yourself craving authenticity, truth, and righteousness in a way you never did before. This shift brings a new lens of clarity, allowing you to see through the facades and recognize when relationships are rooted in manipulation rather than genuine love. Have you noticed that your phone doesn't ring as often as it used to? The invitations to social gatherings seem to fade, leaving you wondering what changed. Let me assure you, this is not rejection. It is divine protection. God is pruning your life, removing those who cannot walk beside you on this new Spirit-led path. And while this process can be deeply painful, losing connections often takes heart in knowing that He is replacing those people with others who will nurture and support the person you're becoming. This realignment isn't random, it's intentional. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven." Some relationships were only meant for a season, but God's plan for you is eternal. The journey may also bring division, as Jesus Himself foretold in Matthew. "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." This spiritual transformation can create a divide even among family members, because following Christ requires making hard, uncompromising choices. Light and darkness cannot coexist, and the presence of the Spirit in you may provoke resistance from those who don't understand your journey. You might be accused of being judgmental or of thinking you're better than others, especially by those who once had power over you. But remember, this is not about them. It's about the divine purpose God is unfolding in your life. As you walk this path, reflect on this quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Trust that each step is leading you closer to God's ultimate plan for you." Take a moment to ask yourself, who in my life is truly aligned with God's purpose for me? Are there relationships I'm clinging to out of comfort, even though they no longer serve my growth? As you ponder these questions, remember that spiritual wisdom often comes through letting go and trusting the process. Affirm this truth today. Comment below, "I am surrounded by those who are aligned with God's purpose for me." Let this affirmation guide you as you embrace the changes, trusting that every shift is part of God's plan to transform you inside and out. As we conclude, remember that the transformation brought by the Holy Spirit is a profound journey of renewal and empowerment. While it may come with challenges, loss, or even isolation, it also carries the promise of strength, guidance, and divine companionship. Embrace this transformation knowing that God walks with you every step of the way, as Isaiah 41:10 reminds us. Let these changes inspire personal growth and a deeper connection with your purpose. Share in the comments how you've experienced the Holy Spirit's transformation in your life, or simply affirm, "I will not fear, for God is with me." Your story could inspire others on their spiritual journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more insights to guide your path.